that would be a struggle. I think 10 minutes, 15 I could handle, but 30 would be a struggle to keep my mind focused on Jesus and not myself.
I would think about when I was raised like I did this morning. I was raised in Plymouth Brethren circles, and they sat in a circle around the Lord's table every Sunday, not just once in a while. And they remembered the Lord and talked about Him, and many times there was silence that you could just think about Him.
That would be all right. I mean, I think I would go with it, but I personally, I like that music and worship. I mean, it's something I enjoy, so I probably miss that, but I don't mind being quiet and silent. You know, I have a lot of quiet, silent time, so for me, quiet, silent isn't a problem, but I like that corporate worship, so I might miss it.
I'm not a quiet person, and I don't know, you can reflect in silence, but I don't think worshiping in silence is something that works out very well.
I think it would be too long because people would, including me, would just kind of drift, and then I'd be thinking about how I'm shopping at Walmart after church or whatever. I think like a couple minutes is great because I think that's like a really good idea for all of us to come down and calm down. But if it got too long, it would be like, it wouldn't work.
A little fear was the first word that came to my mind, because it was like, okay, you know, I hope I'd have to prepare, not to just be conscious of not letting my mind wander, wondering if other people would be able to understand why we were having 30 minutes of silence. I think it could be an awesome experience, but I don't know that it would be for everybody as a worship community.
The inner peace and the connection that I feel with the silence, particularly when I'm here at Valley View, and Bruce gives us those moments of silence. I feel the silence, and I feel the connection, so I would enjoy that.
30 minutes of silence? Well, my wife tells me I can't be quiet for 2 seconds, so I think I would have a problem with that.
Fear. I would not like that. I am pretty loud and physical, and silence is not something that I treasure unless I'm at the beach reading a book by the ocean side. Then I enjoy peace, and I could do a half hour of that, but not silence.
I'm not gonna be able to sit still, but it's a great time for everyone to just reflect on themselves and really think about what God means to them, why they're in church, why they're a Christian, and why they chose the life they're living today, like being a Christian.
At first I think, can I sit still for that long? And then I think if I were stuck in a man-made building, it would be hard for me to just stay seated and not be focused more on staying still than on the presence of God. But I think if we were able to go out to the woods or someplace where I can be in God's creation and to have something to reflect on, then I think the silence would be fantastic.
No. I crave silence. Sometimes I'll just get in the car and I won't turn anything on just so I can be quiet. But no, I don't. And the moments that I do get to be silent are really sacred and precious, wonderful moments. And I think about having kids and I'm like, oh my gosh, I barely have silence enough now. How is it going to happen when eating comes? But it's important to me. It's something I value.
I probably have more than many people, or most days I do not turn the radio on in the car going to or from work that I can think. So I think I have enough silence in my life.
No. And I crave it a lot of times.
No, absolutely not. I want more.
Yes, I do. I have plenty of silence. That's what happens when you're 82.
No, I don't have a lot of silence in my life. It's chaotic 90% of the time.
Yeah, every morning, because I have to prepare myself. Every morning I get into the Word for at least 30 minutes, and I have to get my heart ready for the day, because I don't know what the day's going to bring.
Probably not.
No, I do not have enough silence in my life.
Yes, I do. I feel I have enough silence, but I feel that I really have to work to create it because there's something going on all the time. But I cherish it when I find it.
A lot of that, I think, is culture. We have to have our radios on. There's got to be white noise wherever you shop. There's 24 televisions with 24 different stations in every restaurant. It's what we've become accustomed to. Unfortunately, and I think that, I don't know if you can put a specific time limit on how long you should be able to be silent and still worship. But you should be able, you shouldn't have to have lights and the like going non-stop to have it be worship.
Because we live in a noisy world. A lot of people have to have noise and movement to keep from thinking about eternal things is what I think they do it for. I like to have time to think about eternity.
Because we live in a fast-paced culture that is constantly bombarding us with messages and noise. I think it's just the society that we live in. We very rarely don't have music or TV or something on. It's just not part of how we've been brought up, and it's not part of what we're comfortable with.
I think that we live in a world that's so chaotic that we're not used to silence, and we're not used to hearing the stillness of that and then listening when the stillness is there, because I think that's when we hear the most, when it's quiet.
I think silence is hard because it's, you're looking in a mirror, and sometimes when we look in the mirror, that's a tough thing to do.
Because I'm not wired that way. I'm a very relational person who enjoys being around others, with others. Silence is difficult for me. It's because I'm not in relationship. Then I don't feel relationship when I'm completely silent.
Well, Henry Nouwen compared silence to like when we get in silence. He said it's like our heart's like a trees filled with monkeys, and that there's just the monkeys are constantly bouncing around. And I think our world today is so constantly programmed to do, and to think through your to-do list and to not let anything go. And we're definitely more human doings than human beings for the larger part of our lives.
Silence is hard because we're such a plugged-in world anymore in the United States, and people constantly feel like they have to have something on that's making noise.
Because there are no prompts, or there are no, it's you and the Lord. You can't get in back or in front of anything or be a part of anything. It's just you and the Lord.